Hi, mystery writers. How's your week going? I hope your writing is going apace. And today I wanted to talk about something I don't see mentioned very often, but I think it's important because it helps your readers focus on your sleuth, and that's your protagonist tools, the things that they use in their life, especially when they're solving the mystery puzzle. So you want to give your sleuth the right tools. I'm going to digress for a minute and talk about my high school Latin class. So soon after we finished Britannia Insula Est and the very first lessons, we started reading the Labors of Hercules. And what struck me was whatever task was set before Hercules, when he arrived on the scene, he had the right tool. Whatever he happened to be carrying with him, and how did he do that? Someone gave him what he needed when it was time for the labor to occur, for him to accomplish his labor. He always had what he needed. So, as mystery writers, we want our mystery protagonist sleuth to accomplish their tasks, but without Herculean instaprops. Um, we want our tools to be realistic, and we want our characters to feel realistic, not hopping around a mythological realm on foot, carrying yards of rope, a ladder, a shovel, while traveling miles. Um, we really want what our detective uses to be realistic. So we need to give our sleuth tools that aren't so cumbersome. Tools reflect your sleuth's personality. A modern day sleuth can travel by train, car, and vehicle, and so their travel isn't always on foot like Hercules. Plus, if they have their own vehicle, they can load tools in the trunk and the rear seat and even the passenger seat. But still, the tools your detective uses will depend on their personality. They're really an extension of your character's personality. So, just like the original TV character MacGyver always had duct tape, your detective will rely on a tool that fits their personality. A seamstress, cozy protagonist may have a tape measure around her neck or rolled up in her pocket, and a clever teenage sleuth may have a trusty canine companion who, with lassie-like understanding, knows what to do in a tough situation. So if your sleuth is a law enforcement detective, they will have a lot of equipment: a handgun, magazines, a radio, a department mobile phone, a department camera, a voice recorder for witness interviews, handcuffs, a handcuff key. The list is quite extensive, and those are just the basics. So their trunk of the vehicle has a shotgun or a rifle in a locked case, first aid packs, evidence bags, photo log forms, witness statement forms, etc. And depending on their department's budget, they may also have a tablet computer to connect with their law enforcement system. So it's up to your imagination to determine the objects that are essential to your sleuth's job of discovering the villain. So you want to make a connection between the thing, whatever it is, your sleuth, and your reader. This is the important part, and what makes those tools, whatever they are, so important. What object your sleuth uses regularly, the thing that epitomizes how they work, needs to match your sleuth's personality and the way they work to solve the crime. And your subgenre will guide your choices in creating your sleuth's personality, and the objects your sleuth uses will fit into the larger picture of the way you present your sleuth in the novel. Things are tools. In order for your sleuth to work well with the things you give them, your sleuth must know how to use the tools. And you're writing fiction, but you need the story elements to feel real for your reader, and you include tools that match your big picture of the sleuth. Um, I'd like to suggest that you add those tools to your character background in your character Bible. Uh, just as a note, because you'll know which tools are important, so you don't have to keep bringing extra tools in, like Hercules, to have whatever they need on hand. So things are tools, and in order for your sleuth to work well the things you give them, your sleuth must know how to use them. You need your story elements to feel real. In the same way you create aspects of your protagonist's personality, internal makeup, likes and dislikes, physical circumstances, personality quirks, the tools form part of a realistic and relatable whole for your reader. You want your sleuth to be relatable because you should know the answer to this. As the protagonist, they lead the reader through the mystery until it is solved. Your sleuth is your reader's guide through the mystery puzzle. So for your reader to relate to your sleuth, every suspect must feel real, and that includes your sleuth's tools. Otherwise, your reader's going to be wondering, as I did long ago about Hercules, how they just happened to have the right tool at the moment of truth to resolve a conflict. So you don't want your reader wondering about the fictional truth of your story. So fit the tool to your hero or heroine. Our work as a mystery writer is to create a genre story that pulls the reader in from the beginning and keeps them reading until the murder is solved. Every craft skill we muster helps the reader get and stay involved in our story. We can plot from beginning to end, but unless our protagonist connects with the reader, they'll lose interest. So the tools you give your sleuth protagonist need to match their skill set and personality. That way, the tool is a believable extension of your hero or heroine. The more believable your story, the more your reader will stay engaged, caring about the actions your sleuth makes and the consequences that follow those actions. So I hope that helps you. It's something that I don't see mentioned very often, and I think it's very important because our sleuths are clever people, and we want them to have the right tools, and we want to I think those tools really serve as an extension of their personality. So I think it's important for you to choose which tool your sleuth uses. All right. I hope that helps. And I'd love to hear your comments. So share your ideas about which tools your sleuth uses. All right. Thank you and keep writing. I'll see you next week.